I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 cool things about essential oils and how to use them. So a little bit about me, a little bit about the cool things about essential oils, and the 3 ways to use essential oils, and then I'm going to share with you a couple of testimonials and stories. This is going to be one of a series of workshops where I'm going to be sharing with you my love for essential oils because they're so profound and effective for various situations, symptoms and things in the home. So I want to share with some of those with you. And also it'd be great to hear some testimonials from you, because I know a lot of you have already got essential oils, whether it's through me or through a friend. And maybe you can share some of the wow factors that you have experienced with using essential oils, because I'm wowed every single day. But it's also good to hear other people's stories, because I'm going to share with you some pretty out there ways to use essential oils. And I'd love to hear from you as well. And we love sharing ideas about how to use them. Okay, so firstly, a little bit about me. I'm a foster girl, but I'm currently in England. For the last 17 years, I've been going back and forward 6 months in the UK and 6 months in England, in Australia, and which has been great. It means that I've been able to come home. I grew up in foster, so I love foster, and I miss you all so much. I'm a founder of a mobile juicing company called Passion for Juice, and that operates in Australia and the UK. So that's been enabling me to go back and forth. I'm also a qualified nutritionist, and I particularly specialize in women's health through the ages. So I love looking at digestive issues and immune function and respiratory issues. I'm a mum. I've got 2 boys, 12 and 9. So I am busy homeschooling at the moment, which is sometimes fun, sometimes not. And I have done quite a lot of study in nutrition. So I've been studying nutrition for many years. I qualified a few years ago. But I've also studied Reiki and aromatherapy because I'm absolutely fascinated with energy and having energy and how we generate energy in the body. And, you know, I've always been feeling like I've got quite a lot of energy, but after the birth of my second son, energy seemed to be a bit out of my reach. I was very tired and overwhelmed and a bit stressed being a mother of 2 young boys over the age of 40. So there we go. Okay, a little bit about me. Going to teach you about 3 cool things about essential oils and the 3 ways to use essential oils. But let's have a think about what are essential oils. You know, essential oils are all around us in nature. They come from plants. They are gifts from Mother Nature, and they are powerful and potent. Now, they've been around for thousands of years. You may know that back in Egypt, 5,000 years ago, there is well documented pictures on the tombs, pictures on the walls of the tombs in Egypt, and also buried in with the pharaohs, bottles of essential oils. So they date back thousands of years, 5,000 years. Even in China, there's been history of the Chinese physicians using essential oils to for various rituals, for meditation, for offerings, and for healing. So they're amazing. They're derived from plants. So, you know, the power of plants, a beautiful gift from Mother Nature. They are derived and extracted from the stems, the flowers, the roots, the bark of trees and flowers and plants. And they're often sourced in the most pristine locations around the world. So wherever they've grown the best, that's where they're sourced from. Okay, and it's important to think about, when we're using essential oils, how they can benefit the immune system. Our immune system is derived from our cells, and we are 70 trillion cells. Okay, so anything that we're supporting our immune system, we're supporting our cells. And it's important to understand that bacteria is can be on the outside of the cell, and viruses can be on the inside of the cell. So that's important to keep in mind when we're thinking about the 3 cool things about essential oils. So essential oils are aromatic compounds. They are, you know, the resin, the flowers and the bark of plants and trees and flowers. And they're extracted in various different ways, whether through steam or through water, through distillation. And they are very potent, and they are concentrated aspects of plants and flowers. Now, the first cool thing that I want to share with you about essential oils is that they are incredibly safe and effective. Now, when I'm referring to essential oils, I am only referring to doTERRA. Now, I have used many essential oils over my adult life. We used to get Thursday tea tree plantation tea tree, and we had that growing up, and we would use that for insect repellent. My dad used to put together Johnson's baby oil, Dettol, and tea tree oil, and use that as an insect repellent. So right from a young age, I've been using tea tree oil and lavender, particularly just having it in my first aid kit. I didn't realize that there's another whole world out there when it comes to the amazing power and the various uses of essential oils. Okay, so I'm talking about doTERRA, and I want to tell you why doTERRA is different. doTERRA has a certification, a level of testing, a level of purity and potency that is state of the art. They are the best essential oil supplier in the world, and they are the biggest. They have certified pure therapeutic grade essential oils. These are medicinal oils that are beneficial for first aid, for supporting your immune system, for supporting your respiratory system, and also being able to be used internally. If they're based on food, they can be used as food and for flavoring of food. So they're incredibly safe and effective. Now, considering other medications, over-the-counter medications and medications that you would get from the doctor, they may be water-based and synthetic, which means that that's very difficult to get into the cell membrane where they're needed the most. Now, if our immune system is based on our cells, and we are 70 trillion cells, cells are working all the time to either draw in nutrients and eliminate toxins. So imagine this is the cell, and the cell membrane has a nice oily membrane which allows things to be nutrients and vitamins and minerals and water and oxygen to be drawn into the cell to support energy production, and for toxins to be able to leave the cell and flow out via the lymph, via the blood, via the gallbladder, via the liver, and out via the small intestine, and hopefully leave your body. So when we are relying on medications and over-the-counter pills and medications from the doctor, they are often based on synthetic and water-based medications. So they're very, very difficult. They'll either not be able to permeate the cell where they're needed the most to help support the root cause of your symptoms, but also they can come with unwanted side effects. So I'm sure that you know, or you have experienced yourself, the effect of unwanted side effects of medication. Let me tell you a story. Now, I stand in front of you today healthy and energized, and Lee, I'm going to address Lee's just asking a question about internal use, and I'm going to tell you about why doTERRA is different at the end, okay? I will come to that, thank you. Okay, so I'm standing in front of you really healthy, really robust, strong, medication-free 50-year-old, but for 32 years of my life, I had very debilitating respiratory illnesses. I had bronchitis, I had asthma, I had candida, I had shingles, I had Ross River fever, you name it. I was really sick as a child and as a young adult, and certainly going into my my 20s and my 30s, I was very, very unwell. Now, when I got to the point of 12 hospitalizations in 1 year due to anaphylaxis, I knew that I had to really change my life and do something differently. And I found a nutritionist and I started working with her, and basically changed my life. And now, look, I went from having a huge range of medications, from for managing my allergies. And I was told at the age of 15 that I was highly allergic and I would have to be on medication for the rest of my life. So I tell you that story not to feel sorry for me, but to believe that there is hope, that you can reduce or and overcome medications and use natural methods to support whatever symptoms that you're struggling with. Okay, so I went in and saw this nutritionist, and I went in with a box of medications. I had Atrovent, Beclefort, Ventolin, all puffers. I had an EpiPen, which was used to administer adrenaline, and I had daily antihistamines, and I was having over-the-counter meds, so paracetamol, ibuprofen to manage pain. I was having daily headaches, and I was really a picture of, toxicity, and I was really unwell. Now, after working with a nutritionist for 6 weeks and eliminating certain aspects of my diet and supporting my body in a complete different way, I'm happy to say now that I've been medication-free, hey Linda, medication-free for the last 18 years. And I do rely heavily on things like my yoga, my breathing techniques, my meditation, and my essential oils to support my body in a completely different way. So you probably know people, and maybe yourself, you have experienced unwanted side effects from medications. Now, essential oils are amazing because they're very fast acting, but they also act like neurotransmitters and hormones. So they can actually get through the membrane of the cell where they're needed the most. And they can help support root cause of symptoms. So they're very fast acting and immediate. Now, also, medications can have unwanted side effects on your gut. Certainly antibiotics. Now, if you go to a doctor and you've got a bacterial infection, they may give you antibiotics, and that is going to have an impact on your gut health, and it is going to have a long-term impact on your immune system because 80% of our immune system resides in our gut. So if we have medications that impact our gut health, then that's going to have a knock-on effect on our immune system. Now, the thing is about essential oils, they're oil-based. So remember, oily cell membrane. Essential oils are able to permeate the cell membrane and get deep into the cell where they're needed the most, which is fantastic. They have very, no real massive side effects, and they're very, very quick acting. So, and they're pure and potent. Now, when I'm talking about pure and potency, I'm talking about certified pure therapeutic grade essential oils. Please don't think that you can go down to the local bargain store and get yourself a $6 bottle of frankincense and think that you're going to be able to use that to support your body therapeutically and medicinally. Very, very different product. These oils are, now the thing is about doTERRA, which is different, is that every single bottle of oil and every single batch of essential oil has been tested 9 times inside the company and 5 times outside the company to make sure that it is pure and potent. It is free from synthetics. It's free from fillers. It's free from any contaminants that may mean that, and if there is any contaminants or any fillers or any synthetics, they don't meet the grade. They don't pass the test. And the test, the stamp of approval, the CPTG, is marked on every bottle. And every bottle has a batch number right on the bottom here. All right? So that number can be traced, and you can actually see when it was tested, where it was tested, and the results of that test. So that is significantly different to a bottle of oil that you will buy down at your bargain store. All right? Now, as I said, so they're free from fillers, they're free from synthetics, and they're grown in the most pristine environment possible. So, very potent and very, very effective. Okay, now the second really cool thing about essential oils is that these are cheaper than traditional medical care. All right? Now, peppermint works out 3 cents a drop. All right? And it can be used for headaches, energy. It's like nature's espresso. It can also be used for ants and spiders in your home. I'm going to come to that a little bit later. But cheaper than traditional medical care. Now, I know as a mum that I've got a whole wealth of possible solutions for any problems that may arise with my kids, whether it be first aid or medicinal care. Take an earache, for example. If you've got an earache, you would probably take, or your child has got an earache, you'd probably take that child to the doctor, and you may be given antibiotics to help with the earache. My son has had an earache when I first started using doTERRA, and I put lavender and basil around the outside of the ear, and 2 hours later the earache is gone. Now, that is far cheaper than me having to jump in my car, make an appointment, take him to the doctor, sit there for an hour and a half while the doctor is running late, see the doctor, pay for the doctor, go and pay for medication, and then wait 3 or 4 days for that medication to kick in and have my son off school that entire time. Just being able to go and reach for lavender and basil and rubbing that on the outside of his ear, and a few hours later he is well, is just gold. So the second really cool thing about essential oils is that they're cheaper than traditional medical care. Now, I know we're very fortunate in Australia and in the UK where we can go to the doctor and we're bulk billed, and we may even have subsidized medications. But what about the time off work? What about the time off school? What about even just that time sitting in the doctor's surgery? I don't know how many times, many years ago, I've sat in the doctor's surgery in Foster, and they seem to be always running an hour and a half late. So that just having those solutions at the fingertips is just gold for me. Okay, so now the third really cool thing about essential oils is that they're really safe and effective, and they're more effective than other medications because they can work on certainly killing bacteria on the outside of the cell and getting into the inside of the cell to prevent the duplication of viruses. All right, so as I said, you go to the doctors, and more than likely you're going to be given, if you've got a bacterial infection, you are more than likely going to be given a dose of antibiotics. They're going to take a couple of days to kick in, and then you may have a compromised gut health problem that could last for months or even a year. It can take up to 1 year to rebuild the gut microbiome after you have a course of antibiotics. So there's that, a hidden cost of that medication. But if you've got a virus, if you go to the doctor and you've got a virus, that doctor is going to probably say, go home and rest and hydrate and allow, to support the body and allow the body to fight itself. Well, when you're using essential oils, in this instance, they get into the cell membrane and they stop the duplication of viruses, which is very, very, it's a fantastic way to use essential oils. Right, let's talk about the 3 different ways to use essential oils. Now, once again, talking about doTERRA essential oils, other essential oils that you may already have in your toolkit at home that are not doTERRA, you can certainly use aromatically and you can use topically. I would not recommend using any other essential oils internally, and some of the doTERRA ones that are based on food can be used as food and flavoring as food, but I want to stress that it is important to consider the safe use of essential oils, especially if you're using them internally. They are very powerful and profound to use in acute situations, but that's not something that I would do every day. For example, I use oregano as part of a parasite cleanse that I recommend with my clients, but it's not something that I use every day. I recommend a very small dosage for 5 days to break open the biofilm of parasites and then allow the body to eliminate those. So it's small and safe use if you're using internally. So the first way to use essential oils is aromatically. And normally when we're sitting in the class, we would be passing around some peppermint. So if you've got peppermint oil right now at your fingertips, I know Nadine you will have, Linda you probably will have, Katie you may have, and some of you have been to a class with me. So I encourage you to, if you do have peppermint, what we normally do at this point is just 1 drop in the palm of the hand, put your thumb in there and into the roof of your mouth. Rub hands together. Careful to avoid the eyes. If you ever got essential oils in the eye, please do not use water. It makes the situation worse. Just use a cotton wool bud and some coconut oil and rub the oil away. Okay, so 3 deep breaths, and this is what we call the human diffuser. Now, this is fantastic for energy. If you have a headache, if you're feeling a little bit low. Now, essential oils work really powerfully aromatically. So this is a human diffuser. You may have one of these. You may have noticed it in the yoga studio. You've got a diffuser. And what these do is disperse these amazing little molecules of the essential oils in water. So we fill this with water up to, usually most of the diffusers have a little red dot, or they'll have a fill line, and you fill the water up to there and you put 3 or 4 drops of your favorite essential oil in there, and it's great to blend some of the oils. 3 or 4 drops in there, turn it on, and the beauty with these is they're never going to burn dry. They're not burning the oils. When you burn oils, you change the vibrational structure of those oils. So we don't burn these oils, it's just be wasting them. We disperse them in water. So this light vape or light little bit of water drifting through the air can help change the state, set the state of your yoga room, set the state of your practice, allow you to go deeper in a meditation, change the state and energy of your family. If you're doing homeschooling, try a couple of essential oils, a couple of drops of wild orange and peppermint to invigorate but to keep everybody calm. So just having water up to the red dot and 3 or 4 of your favorite oils, drops of your favorite oils, and turn that on and allow that to change the energy in a room. So when we use essential oils aromatically, it has a powerful effect on the brain. Now you may be wondering how it does this. We have just under the bridge of our nose here, just under the rim of my glasses, the olfactory nerve. All right, so I know I look a bit silly doing that, but just under there, that is the basis of the olfactory nerve. And of course, the olfactory nerve is linked to the limbic system. And the limbic system helps the part of the brain that governs how we feel. So essential oils can not only change how we feel, they can change our emotions, and they can also change how we live. So, and what this does is, like neurotransmitters and like hormones, the limbic system sends signals to our entire body. For example, if you've ever had gas at the dentist or at the doctor's surgery, or in in labor, ladies, if you've had a baby and you had gas in labor, what that does is we're breathing that in. Very strong effect on via the olfactory nerve to the limbic system, and very strong effect on how we're feeling. Makes us feel all lightheaded and slightly euphoric. Maybe it worked for you in labor, maybe it didn't, like me. But what happens is the limbic system helps govern how we feel and our emotions. So, for example, lavender, breathing lavender in at nighttime, is a precursor to melatonin. So it works like a neurotransmitter, like a hormone, and is a precursor to producing melatonin, which can help us sleep. So it's fantastic to realize that just by smelling something aromatically has a huge impact on our brain, the way we feel, and the way we live. Lavender during the day can also help reduce cortisol levels. So once again, it impacts the neurotransmitters and the hormones. Okay, so now we can also use these essential oils topically. Some amazing oils that can be used topically. Peppermint, again, across the forehead, on the back of the neck, can help relieve tension, can help you feel warm and cool at the same time, and can really help support muscle fatigue, muscle tension, muscle tightness. Rubbing essential oils down the spine can have a profound effect. I want to tell you a little story. My son, my 9-year-old son, Rory, was really struggling at school. I use a blend called In Tune, and it has vetiver, ylang-ylang, Roman chamomile in it. And I use it down his spine. If he's ever in a really big tantrum, he doesn't like the rollerball down his spine, so I rub it on my hands and I rub it down his spine like a cat. 10 minutes later, honestly, he's like a new child. Now, he was having a lot of trouble at school, reading, just focusing his mind. Rubbing that down his spine before he went to school really helped support his reading, his ability to concentrate in the classroom. So using them topically on the skin can help absorb them into the cells where they're needed the most, because they're oily, they can cross that cell membrane, help them get into the cells where they're needed the most, and support our emotions, help us feel better. Okay, and now when we're using oils topically, there's a few things to be aware of. Very, very good to dilute oils with a carrier oil. We like to use coconut oil because coconut oil gets into the skin where it's needed the most and it doesn't leave an oily residue. So using carrier oils like oil, for example, they leave a protective barrier on the skin. They won't allow the oils to permeate and draw into the skin where they're needed the most. Can be quite good for just a layer of protection on the skin, but we want these oils to be drawn into the skin. So coconut oil is an excellent carrier oil, and we always want to be careful with using our oils with babies or children. We want to dilute them. So diluting them in a ratio of 1 to 3. So if you've got a tablespoon of coconut oil and you just put 1 drop of essential oil for a baby or a child is more than enough, whereas you may put 3 drops for an adult. And now be very, very careful if you're using citrus oils and you're going out into the sun. The compounds in citrus oils make them very UV sensitive. So if you were to put wild orange or lemon or citrus bliss or bergamot onto your skin and go out into the sun, that can be very, very detrimental. It will mean that the UV exposure with that reaction on the skin and the sun will mean that you could blister or burn. So be very, very careful about that. Okay, let's talk about internal use of oils, because this is very, very different. If you studied aromatherapy in Europe, in Italy, in Germany, in France, they've been advocating internal use of essential oils for a very, very long time. If you studied aromatherapy in America or in Australia, you would probably be told never to use essential oils internally. Now, with doTERRA, they are the purest, most potent oils on the planet. They are tested very strictly, both inside the company and outside the company, to guarantee that they are the most pure and the most potent. Now, if they are based on food, they can be used like food to flavor salad dressings, raw chocolate, bliss balls, smoothies, that sort of thing. So I love lemon in my morning water. 1 drop of lemon acts like very, very good, derived from the rind of the lemon, and acts very differently to lemon juice on your tooth enamel, which is very effective. It doesn't have that same effect of impacting the enamel. So very, very effective. 1 drop in a smoothie or 1 drop in some bliss balls with cashew and turmeric. Very, very powerful. And certainly at Christmas time, when the cost of lemons go through the roof, having a bottle of lemon in the cupboard is a very, very good way to incorporate the lemon into dressings or smoothies or bliss balls, and it to be much more cost effective. Okay, Cass, you're asking, are the oils safe for pets? Yes, I can share with you an ebook on safe use and pets. Particularly, dogs seem to like the majority of essential oils. Cats are particularly sensitive to tea tree oil, but I have known some people that use lavender with their cats. But particularly tea tree oil, I know that cats are very, very prone to getting very sensitive to tea tree oil. But certainly using them in the diffuser, a lot of animals do really love them. I know a couple of my clients who use them with horses. Amazing. But yes, I can send you an ebook on that. I don't have any pets, but I know a lot of my clients and some of the people that I know that work with in doTERRA are very, very big with using the oils with their pets. Right, now we had a couple of other questions. Right, so talking about internal usage. As I said, you can use it in water. 1 drop of peppermint in water is very uplifting, very invigorating, like nature's espresso. 1 drop of lemon in your water gives your intestines a good flush through. It's almost like squeezing a dirty dishcloth, getting that effect on the liver, like our twisting postures, giving that liver and that gallbladder and internal organs a very good squeeze and a good flush out. It helps the liver and the gallbladder produce bile, and in that bile is carried toxins out of the body. Hello, Kim, welcome. Having, peppermint, for example, in the roof of the mouth, very, very energizing, great for headaches. I do recommend for acute situations with my clients the use of certain combinations of essential to support digestive function and to support the elimination of parasites. So oregano is a really good one where we would use 1 drop a day for 5 consecutive days over the full moon to help break open the biofilm that is encasing parasites. Now, the thing is with doTERRA is that when you get a starter kit, one of the starter kits has the top 10 oils in it, and you get a diffuser as well, you get free membership. Now, what I mean by membership is that doTERRA comes with support. So you get a wellness advocate assigned to you, so me, as your support person. And my role is to guide you through the safe use and the benefits of using the essential oils. So wrapping these into your protocols, your daily routine, your health goals. I become your support person and I help guide you. So if you are a person that has already ordered through me and you have an account, then you are entitled to a wellness consultation. So you can jump on, book a session in my calendar, and we can talk through some of your health goals. If you've ordered through somebody else, then I encourage you to go back to that wellness advocate and talk to them about your health goals. If you don't already have any oils in your house, then let me guide you. Let me be your support person. I can help guide you as to the best way to use your oils, most out of them, how to use them safely, and how to incorporate them as proactive self-care. We're all very interested in, eating right and moving well and creating a lifestyle for ourselves that helps us achieve our health goals. So doTERRA sits on top of that. It's proactive self-care, and it's a great way to support your health goals. So in the link below, I'm going to put my link to my calendar. So if you don't already have oils, you can book a session with me and I can guide you as to what oils to get for your health, based on your health needs, based on your health goals, because we're all different.